So, yes. I haven't done a video about shit literature for a very long time, for a number of reasons. Because I've been busy dyeing my hair. Obviously that doesn't take like 4 weeks, but I'm getting these. Bear with me. Certificates. Yes, as you can see, there are quite a few certificates. And I've been busy getting them for firefighting and so on. So, yeah. Although I did have lots of spare time, but you know how things go. Spare time is spare, and I made sure it was very spare. So anyway, I'm going to do a short bit of shit about this lit. In fact, lots of lit. Namely, Arnaldur Indridason, yes. An exciting name, like Flannery O'Connor, but just much better, and with that letter, just called a thorn, or might be called a thorn, whatever, but you go th, not duh, so. But if you type, obviously, if you look him up on the internet, you have to put duh. Or a D, in fact. Don't know why I said duh, I'm supposed to be good at literature, but there you go. Anyway, he is famous for writing Jar City, which I don't actually have with me, I couldn't find it, but I've got the movie. It's quite good, very grim, very exciting, lots of brains and so on. Just recently read Voices. Had very little to do with voices. I thought, yay, it's going to be about like schizophrenia and stuff, but it wasn't. It was more, well, there was someone in it who was schizophrenic, but it was like kind of part of like an extra plot. I don't know, call it a subplot, but like it's a multiple plot line basically. All of them have the same basic principle. Actually, these books, there's like a main plot. Should I tell you actually what they're about? Yeah, it's about this one guy called Erlander, who is like a detective, and yeah, just investigating things like murders and so on. And there's always like one main thing, and then like a sub thing that the rest of them are investigating, that he's also half investigating at the same time. And like the voices part of this book came from that sub thing. So about this boy who's being abused, and his mother's schizophrenic and in a mental hospital. And that's I think where the voices came from. But it might also come from the fact that like there was singing, like the guy who got murdered was a singer when he was young. Could be that, I don't know. But then again, I'm reading this one at the moment, Hypothermia, and as you can see, I've not done much reading on that, but that's quite exciting. Interesting one though, not a murder, it's a suicide, and it seems at the moment a definite suicide. It's the most slow moving of all of them, in fact, but I have only read 2, so exactly. The Draining Lake. I recently bought one. I read like the first chapter of it like as a teaser at the end of a book, because you know how they do sometimes put them in there. Yeah, so it seemed like quite an exciting one. And basically in the first chapter there's this woman, she goes to this lake and she finds a body in it, but like just the skeleton. And obviously she rings the police, and wow, the bones have been weighed down with an old Russian radio transmitter. Is it a clue to the victim and the killer's identity? Probably, yes. Okay, so that's that. So I highly recommend this Icelandic writer with his unpronounceable name, Arnaldur Indridason. Okay, so maybe not unpronounceable, but hello, I can pronounce Eyjafjallajökull. That's the volcano, by the way. You know, the one that exploded. I mean, most volcanoes tend to explode. You know, the most recent one that exploded that people cared about. Because obviously they're exploding all the time, but nobody cares. Poor volcanoes, really. Anyway, this is just a short bit of shit, as I'm off to South Korea tomorrow, and I probably won't be able to make another video for about 4 months. Although, I might make some CAC, like video CAC, but that won't be on this channel. This channel's specifically for shit and lit. Whereas CAC is my older channel, which is basically just CAC, really. I'd avoid it, in fact. So don't. Look out for that. Although hopefully my travels around the world will broaden my mind and reshape my personality, and I'll come back as a better person, with a better outlook on life and much better at reviewing books, hopefully, because we all know how that is important for a review channel of literature. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this shit. I certainly didn't.